So within the Azure dashboard here, you can go ahead and click on virtual machines, or in the search bar at the top, you can type in virtual machines here. And I currently don't have any virtual machines in my Azure portal, but that will change here shortly. So on the far left, you want to click on this little drop down arrow here that says create, and you will select Azure Virtual Machine. So this is the only subscription I have, pay as you go, and I do have my existing resource group that I have here. And now we are going to be creating a virtual machine here. So we are going to call it SST Sean Sims Tech VM01. We are currently located in Canada. You can hover over on these little sections here just to see. So we are at availability options. So this is telling us that it's basically for replicated VMs in availability zone. We don't need that. Security type, we are going to go with standard. Now this is where we select our virtual machine image. We'll go with the latest and greatest from Windows Server currently. Going to select x64, and here is where you can go ahead and select whichever image you want. So you can go ahead and select all the different sizes here, and it'll give you a general cost. Now that cost is per the monthly cost for the VM basically running 24/7, but you can do things to reduce the cost. So we are going to select a VM here. Let's go with 4 CPUs and 16 gigs. That's a nice size here. And then what we have to do is we have to go ahead and create a username, and then let us go ahead and put a password. Let's go ahead and type that back again. Okay, inbound rules. So we are going to attempt to connect to this VM via RDP. So we let's see if we should leave this open or not. You know what, let's just go ahead and select none for now. We can change this here later. And we don't have any sort of licenses right now, so we're gonna have to pay the cost for from Microsoft for the VM. All right, now we get to the disk. We are going to go ahead and select the usual size. We don't need SSD. We'll check this box here so that we would be able to delete the VM disk. Well, we would be able to delete the disk with the VM if we so choose that option. These are key managements. Again, you can always check on over, you can always hover over this little section here just to see what it means. This is pertaining to disk encryption. We'll leave it as platform manage. Here is where you could attach another disk for the VM, but we're not going to do that. And here is where you would select your virtual network. Now, if you don't have anything set up currently, you can go ahead and just leave the default. Public IP, yeah, I'll have a public IP so I can RDP into. I don't need a network security group. Let's also check this to delete the public IP. Load balancer, no, we don't need at this time. Next. Microsoft Defender for Cloud. We'll just leave these blank. Let's see. Oh, that's a nice little feature, hot patch. That would mean that I don't have to reboot the VM without I don't have to reboot the VM if I patch. Now, you know what? A lot of places should have this. This is pretty good, but it is not supported for this VM image, so that's fine. We're gonna turn that to manual so we can manually choose when to go ahead and patch our VMs. Okay, this is boot diagnostics. We're going to leave that with the storage account. Advanced, I'm just going to leave these here blank. Next, we don't need any tags, so I guess you can say that tagging is, so you have a name and a value pair, which is great for billing. So if you assign a tag to a specific resource in Azure, so for billing purposes, you can properly have the correct charges to give your clients or customers, which is nice. But for the purposes of this video, we won't need that. So let's go on over to next, and let's see if we can get into this VM here without any issues. So this just gives me a summary. It would be interesting to see if I can RDP into this, so let's go ahead and create this. So we just give this some time here, probably like another minute or so. So I'll just go ahead and pause the video and then come back once this is all done. Okay, so once that is all done, you'll get this nice little message here saying your deployment is complete. Didn't take that long. So now let's head on over to the resource, and now we got our virtual machine. Now the interesting thing is, will it connect? Now we have a private IP address, and we do have the public IP address, which is here. So let us try opening up Remote Desktop Connection Manager, and let's try connecting to this IP address 9.21. So we are going to see if we can. It doesn't look like we can at the moment. So that means we are going to have to try connecting to the VM a different way. Now, we don't have any sort of proper routing to Azure configured, so I think if I try the private IP address, we're also going to have that issue as well. Yep, which seems to be the case. So now what we're going to have to try doing is try connecting to the VM through a service called Bastion. Now, yeah, I just heard the alert here. Yeah, so we tried the public IP address, we tried the private IP address, and we still can't get into our VM. So what we are going to do is we're going to try deploying like Bastion. Bastion is just a service provided by Azure that allows RDP services securely. So let us walk through that process right now. So we're going to try connect via Bastion. So here it's going to tell us that, yeah, it's not configured. Okay, so Bastion prices start with an hourly base rate. Okay, let's go ahead and do it. We have a credit card with some money on it, so this is all good for learning. So let us go ahead and create that. So now it's creating a new, looks like a new virtual network based on this right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pause the video once again, and then once this is done, I'll come back and then we'll see if we can actually connect this time through RDP using the Bastion. Alright, so as you can see here, it finally added the Bastion subnet, so it took about 7 minutes. So now it is asking me for the VM credentials, so let's go ahead and supply that now. So we're doing SST admin, and we are doing our password here. It's going to open up a new tab. I'm going to do allow for the clipboard, and let us see if we're able to get in. Oh, let's see here. It opens it up in a web browser, And we are now able to get to it through the web browser using Bastion. Looks like it's just finishing up the setup here. So we'll just give it another couple seconds. So shouldn't take too long because we deployed it with a good amount of CPU and memory resources. So shouldn't take too long here. And this is it here, just waiting for it to load up the background. But look at that. Here we go. Yes, we are going to stay connected to our network. The time's a little bit wrong, but we can always change that in the settings here. But would you look at that? I now have a virtual machine deployed from Azure. It is Windows Server 2022. Now if I go to System, let's go with System Information. It will go ahead and tell us that this is indeed a 2022 Data Center Azure Edition VM. There are the 4 CPUs and the 16 gigs that we gave it earlier. And this right here giving us the temporary storage disk, system disk, everything. So that was from start to finish in under or around about 10 minutes or so, how to deploy a VM within Azure. Hope you found this video helpful, and I will be back with more videos in the near future. Stay tuned. Thank you.